this one. Ta-da! Okay, that's a rough start. At least I think we have sound again. We should also have some desktop audio, I hope. Let's see if we do like this. There we go. And maybe we can have some music. Let's try to get some music going. Here we go. Let's do some dubstep today. Ooh, that's loud. All right, first time on YouTube. It's not supposed to go great, I hope. There we go, and let's see this. So I got myself a new computer. Hopefully this one won't die when I'm trying to stream. But on the other hand, it only has one monitor, and I need that monitor for coding. So I've tried to set up a separate laptop with an as a monitor, and I'm wirelessly transferring my picture to that monitor. And it works not great. And this music is terrible. Let's try something else. So this screen I'm trying to look at is like colors all over and not showing me basically anything. But at least it's a screen. Okay, let's see if we can click on something. Let's do some synthwave instead. Much better. Stream Beats by Harris Heller. Awesome royalty-free music. Now let's get this microphone up a bit. All right, and there should be. Oh, hey. Let's try to switch to my screen, and I think we have sound. We might not have. So that's system. That's not what I was looking for. Let's make sure we have this routing set up. As I said, new computer system should go here. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see if we can hear something. Yeah, it should be switch to this. That didn't work. Yeah, at least we have sound. It would be cool if we had some music too. Let's see if we can get some music going. Wonder if I can see the chat somewhere. That would be cool too. Oh! Music is only coming through when you speak behind your voice. Funky. Alright, not really sure how this works or what's wrong, but we'll have to live with it for now, and I can try to troubleshoot that. I wonder if I have any gate here. That's off. Let's make this off. just to make sure. All right, let's try this. All right, so today I'm gonna try to code some C++, a language I don't know. So that's gonna be fun, right? I actually started a bit. So I have this project. Here is my lovely TeslaButton. It's not gonna look like this when it's done, but well, it's gonna look awesome, I hope. So the plan is I'm gonna have a big button, I'm gonna press it, and whenever I press it, it's gonna start my serverless automation that controls at the moment, the climate in my Tesla. So for today, I have this LED here, and well, I can sort of turn it on and off, and that's all good. But and we did that on the last stream, which we did at Twitch. But today I want to create an asynchronous task that can run like its own component and independent of my code. So my plan is to like say blink 3 times, pause a second, and blink again, and it should like do that until I tell it to do something else. So we'll see. I have installed this PlatformIO, which is an VS Code extension that gives me a lot of stuff. Fairly easy. It took me like 3 minutes. I did it 15 minutes ago. This is basically a totally clean computer, so I might end up not having stuff, but we'll have to figure that out. So we have this include Arduino.h, which is like the basic Arduino API. And then I'm including my statusled.h, which is my component that I'm thinking we should be doing be coding today. And then we have just some constants saying this is the pin I'm using for my LED. So my LED is on pin number 17. And I should, not even sure if I have the button on the right pin. But there should be a reset button on pin number 16. And that probably should be, there's a button somewhere. We'll figure it out when we get to it. So, and then I created this statusled config class, and I'm creating a global variable called blueled. And this is calling a constructor and creating a statusled thingy. So we'll have a look at that. So as far as I understand, in C#, you have like .h and .cpp files. So I've understood it like you create an .h file, which kind of defines your classes and their methods and stuff, but it doesn't implement it. And then you have the CPP class where you actually put the implementing code. I'm not sure what's happening on my screen here. I wonder if I can get this on another computer. That would be cool. Let's see. I'll just try to log in here. Hang on. YouTube, sign in. Let's go here. And there should be like, I'm totally new to this whole YouTube live streaming, so I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But there should be like a studio somewhere so I can actually see what's happening. Live. Oh, here we go. Okay, that didn't work. View in live control room. That's what we want to do. It's loading. Yeah, let's let that load for a while and see what happens. And let's get back to the code meanwhile. So I have this struct, which is basically a simple class as I understand it. I call it status.config, and I just give it some basic information. So my LED is gonna need a pin number, which is the pin where we should send the blink signals. We need a time high and time low, which will be the time when it's how long it should be on for and how long it should be off for. We need a count saying how many times it should blink, and then we need a pulse, how many milliseconds it should wait before the next sequence starts. And then we have my status.let class. It has a private task handle, and that should keep track of my task, which will be running asynchronously. And then we have a private method, which we call toggle.led. I'm not sure if toggle.led is a good name, but this is the function or the method that will be called by our asynchronous task. Okay, this stream panel doesn't work at all. Interesting. Bear with me. Okay, it only has a big button called saying end stream. I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. Right? Mr. Epix is chatting. Awesome. Header files or declaration CVP files are the definitions. Generally, each time you would normally split some code into a new file you create two. Awesome. Then I think I got it right. I guess. So I'm gonna need a constructor. I'm gonna have three constructors: one empty, one that takes a name, and one that takes a name and a configuration. And then I'm gonna have three methods. It's gonna have the method start the LED, stop the LED, or remove the LED. Yeah, so that's the definition of my class. And then I have this CPP file. I've put in a lot of code in here, and it's basically a lot of copy pasting. So we're gonna go through it, and I'm gonna think about it, and I'm gonna try to make this work, because currently when I put this on my little ship, it screams kernel panic, and then it constantly reboots. So something's wrong. All right. So we're going to include that, and we're gonna use this. I think we did. Yeah, so include Arduino.h, and in here we're saying that we're using digital write and extras create from that library, or those libraries. Here are my constructors. If I just give it an empty, no parameters to the constructor, I'm gonna call it status.let as a default name, and then I'm just gonna call the next constructor, and that's this one. It takes a name and it creates an empty configuration and calls it with a name and a configuration. And here is the one with the name and configuration, and that will set the name to the name and the configuration to the configuration. Not that hard. I am thinking that I'm probably going to need a mutex thingy, but I haven't figured out how that works yet, so we'll leave that for later. And then I have my toggle LED, which has some debug code just to make sure stuff's working. And then I do this for loop, which is empty. That apparently means that it's gonna keep going forever. So whenever we kick off this task, it's just gonna keep going. we have this parameter that we take as an input, and that is this star is a it tells us that it's a pointer, if I understand it correctly. All right, cool. Yeah, as I understand the include thingy, that's just basically copying in the file. So whenever I include this, that would be the same as just copy pasting the whole file in here. And then in my loop, I'm gonna take my my parameter. I'm gonna cast it to a pointer to a status led config, and then I'm gonna get whatever it points at, and that should create a status led config object. And then I'm going to do some debugging, saying blinking, and then I'm going to print out all the configuration. So I'm thinking I probably want something more. I'm not sure if I should add that to the LED config or if I should wrap this in something more. To be honest, I would like to like send the whole object in. So I tried like sending this, but that also crashed a lot of things. So we'll see what happens. And then I check if the blink count is 0. We're not gonna blink, we're just gonna turn on the LED. So I'm doing digital write, which just changes the state of one of my output pins. And I'm just setting the blink pin to high, and then I'm gonna wait for 500 milliseconds. And this vtask delay thingy is non-blocking, if I understand it correctly. So that will basically just suspend the task, and the CPU can do something else while waiting. If the blink count is -1, then we're gonna just turn off the LED and wait for half a second and see if we get the new instruction. And if it's something else than -1 or 0, we are going to put it on low, and then we're gonna wait for one blink time low, because I always want to turn it off for a period before we turn it on again. And then we do this for loop. I'm gonna loop from 0 until so I'm realizing if I have -2 here, that's gonna be a problem. So I probably want to do else if and this one, but it should be like greater than, this is how you do it, 0. Then we're gonna loop over this. Let's see. Okay. You have to do anything with the news to think the weird comes. Yeah, I'll turn it off. That kind of sucks. Let's turn it off. I guess you can play your own music. Great. There we go. So we're gonna loop. We're gonna put it in status high, like turn the LED on. We're gonna wait for a time high, and then we're gonna turn it off, and then we're gonna wait, and then we're gonna loop again, and then we're gonna wait for a blink pulse, and then we're gonna do it over and over again. We have the start thingy, which calls this x task create, which will create a new task. I will give it a function, which is my toggle LED method. I will give it a stack size of 1000. I have no idea if that is good or bad. That might be why it's crashing. So let's give it 4000. I'm gonna give it a pointer to configuration, which should be my class configuration up here. This thingy. I'm gonna give it a priority of 1, and I try to give it oh no, this is probably gonna work. So I'm gonna give it. I think I should be able to do just this, but I'm uncertain. Yeah, so that should be my handle. So I'm gonna give the pointer to my handle, and then so if the handle is null, then we're gonna create a new task. If the handle exists, then we're gonna resume the task. We're gonna assume it's stopped, and then we have a stop, and that's just gonna check if it's null, and if there is a handle, we're gonna suspend the task, and then the remove will check if it's not empty or not null, and then we will just delete the task. So it's fairly straightforward. And if we go to the main, so this PlatformIO tool, it creates two loops for us. So we have a loop and a setup. So whenever the ship boots, it will run the setup, and then it will run the loop indefinitely. So we start by setting up a serial communication on this many board. I'm gonna set the pin mode on my pins. This is gonna be an output mode, and this is gonna be an input pull down for a button that we can do later. And then we're just gonna print the configuration, and then we are going to change the configuration, setting the pin to this pin. We want to blink 0 times, 300 milliseconds on and 300 milliseconds off, and then pause for a second. Then we're gonna print the whole thing again, and then we're gonna yeah, so that's the config. And then I'm gonna start the task. We're gonna run it for 2 seconds, and then we're gonna change the blink count to 10. And then we're gonna blink 10 times, and then and while we're blinking 10 times, we're going to wait for 3 seconds, and then we're gonna set it to -1, which is off. So my plan here, if this works, it should keep on blinking until it's really annoying I can't see chat. At is called reference, sort of the opposite. Yeah, exactly. Then we're gonna delay for 10 seconds, and then we're just gonna write stop and turn it off, and yeah. And the whole loop is empty or commented out. So let's try to compile this, see what happens. Seems to be working, and we should be able to deploy this to our little ship. That didn't work. Deploy. Here we go. Connecting. Press the little button. Uploading. I should really get another camera so I can show this at the same time. Let's see if we can get this connected. All right, that didn't work. Break. So what does it say? So here it prints the 21500 which is the default config, and then it prints pin 17, 0 blinks 33 and 1000. And then it says Guru meditation error, core 1 panicked. Load prohibited, exception was unhandled. Execution B address 0, that's kind of weird. So I wonder if I've got the types wrong somewhere. So I am casting this to a configuration, and then I'm doing a configuration. Yeah, C++ works fairly good. I'm not. Yeah, I have this extension for it, so I think it's all right. To be honest, I haven't coded much or basically any C++ before, so. But I think it works all right. I get some intelligence. I get some squigglies when I do bad stuff. Right, let's see how we are calling this. So, I wonder if I can do it like this. Not really. Must have a type of status led. This is what you. Yep. Okay, so that works. Funky. Let's try that and see what happens. Deploy. I'm gonna have to move this whole YouTube Studio thingy here because I can't read in the screen. Right. There's the button here. And let it deploy. While we're deploying, I'm gonna see if I can figure out this YouTube thingy. Okay, that doesn't look like it's working. Let's connect the debugger. No, not working. Bonkers. I wonder if we can do like this and not give it any parameters. And just say I think this is how we do it. How did we initialize that one? Like that. Okay, let's try again. And I wonder if I could. Yeah, if I yeah, I think I can actually see the chat now. That's better. Yeah, the star and the ampersand is really weird to see in code. I'm not. Oh, let's try it again. I like this, but it's a bit hard to figure out, and I'm doing a lot of errors. It's not blinking. Stop it. Come on. Okay, so it writes this and that, but then it does nothing. What if we do this and just scrap this whole thingy and actually, yeah, I'm gonna need a status.let config. That's not gonna work. We could try to just comment out this whole thing. Maybe not that far. Let's keep that one and let's keep that one. And just do this. So this should write blinking. That's like the most simple thing. Okay, so let's this one, comment that one out and say 200. Yeah, this is very different from PowerShell that I'm used to. But it's fun to learn new stuff. And we're gonna put this to null. I don't care about referencing the task at the moment. I just want to make this work. Okay. So we have a thingy and we do stuff with it and we start it. And then we write stuff. Let's try that. Oh, I just realized I have a current viewers on Twitch thingy in my screen. That's always going to be 0 as long as I'm not live at Twitch. All right, something is definitely broken. Doesn't really say much. It outputs this and this, which is this one, and then it calls start. And start is down here. Serial print line starting task. Let's always do this. Oh, sorry. Yeah, set it to 9,000. Awesome. Status LED toggle light. What if you just give this like my task? The function should be that. Stack size. I don't know. Let's go back to 1,000, see what happens. Yeah, I saw someone using 1024 somewhere. Does not look good. Oh, it's doing stuff. Okay, that's good, I guess. All right, let's see if we can give it a parameter. Configuration. No, undefined. Let's see what I call it. Lowercase c. Progress. Let's see what happens now. No, nothing's blinking because I commented out all the blink commands. So it's currently just writing stuff at the console. I would really like having like an ESP32 emulator so I can just run this on my computer really fast, and that seems to be working. Cool. So I wonder what it was that caused the panic. Let's turn that off. Go back here and do this task running, and let's try to create this config pointer thingy. Oh, hang on. I am calling it a config pointer. That's... Hang on. Yeah, sorry. That's the problem with... This is the line we were working with. So for each time I loop this, I want to take the parameter, I want to cast it to a pointer to this, and then I want to... I think this is called dereferencing. And that creates an actual status-led config. And then let's just do this and keep all the rests commented out. See if we get kernel panic. All right. That seems to be working. Amazing. All right. Let's take all this and take away that. And deploy it again. Oh yeah, I can't do serial debugging thingy at the same time as I deploy it. Let's try again. Connect. Press button, writing stuff. And we'll see what happens. Oh, it's blinking. Awesome. Let's do the serial and press. Let's see. I don't know if. Let's see if I can see the camera at the same time so I know what I'm showing. Yeah, this seems to be working. Cool. I need to buy another monitor. I'm gonna press this and that should reset the whole thing. It says task running and then it blinks for 10 times. And then blink count is -1, but it will actually blink all the 10 times before it stops blinking. So that's why I am getting this thingy inside of the loop, because then I have like a cache for it. So it will complete the whole this whole loop will complete before it goes for next time and picks up this thing again and gets a new config. Awesome. So I don't think we need this, and we can keep that for now. We don't need that. And this one should be the same. Don't need that. Okay, so I think we're fairly done with the task right now. And oh, thank you. Getting something to blink. What an achievement. So I wonder. I think we give this thing a name. So it should be called blue led. So let's just starting task. Let's do this. Shove. And then do serial dot print. And just see if we can give it a name. That should print just the name. Can we kill this? There we go. Because I'm thinking we should have the name here. What is the name? The name is a constant char. I wonder if it accepts a char or if it constant char pointer to PC name. And this is a constant char pointer thingy name. Yeah, that should be the same. So let's just give it name. Give the configuration and let's wait with the handle. See if that works. Connecting. Writing. Oh my god, I'm gonna try to make sense of this screen. Here we go. Not blinking. Not what I expected. Okay, so that gave us kernel panic. Alright, so it's something with a name. Does it even print the name? So we get the config, it says starting task, and then we get the whole thingy. Load prohibited. Yeah, actually, I think there are strings, but they're in this standard library, and yeah, it's funky. So apparently I can't give it. I think there is something like this. Maybe not. So skip that for now. I just try to. Where were we here? What if I do serial dot print luled dot name, and then keep that as a stringy thingy, whatever it is. Char. I don't even know what is this. Constant char pointer. Yeah. Let's give it a try. Ta. Okay. Connect starting the task running. So I'm thinking the name is actually null here, because I'm writing little name here, and that should not that should output here on the same line. It outputs nothing. So I'm thinking it's nothing. And if it's nothing, you probably can't name something by it. So I wonder why I'm not making that something. Let's minimize this thingy. So if I just do this, I'm gonna call it status led. But I'm actually doing this. So I should create a configuration and call this with that and that. What if I do blue lid config? Not sure if that changes anything, but and where were we? Print. Here we can do serial print, and saying leaving like this, and then we need a new line after that one. Maybe this is the wrong way of calling a constructor. Maybe I just need to set the name. But I think it's a constant. Constant, so I can't change it. Interesting. Let's try again. That didn't work. Here we go. So, how's YouTube working compared to Twitch? It's blinking. It's doing something. Name is blue LED. Did you see that? So it's something with my constructor nestle thingy. Apparently you're not supposed to do it like this. I thought I was smart. So what if I do this and say name configuration, and here I need a new configuration. I wonder if I can just do like this. Didn't like that. Type name is not allowed. I don't even know if I want or even need this. Maybe I don't need this at all. This whole constructor syntax is a bit confusing for me. Oh, I still need the body, I just don't need the line. Seems alright. And then it should be this. Then we don't need that. That could work, maybe. Let's take this thingy and do this and say this is the blue.config config. We're gonna give it the full, and then we're gonna say this is the red LED config. We're gonna say it's the red LED, and it's not gonna get the configuration. And then we're gonna say green LED config. Hang on, I don't need this. So create a blue LED. Yeah, that's fine. Hang on. That's the blue LED. And then we create a red LED, which is just a name. And then we create a green LED, which is just a green LED. Good. And then we do this thing. But we're also going to do serial.print line blue LED dot name like this. And we're going to move the whole name up first. And we're gonna take the blue LED. And we're gonna call it a red LED. Wasn't there a red LED? No, it's a red LED. I wonder why this is yellow while this is... That's weird. And then we're gonna take this and call it a green LED. Okay, that did not work at all. So apparently we're not supposed to do this. What if we do that? Seems to be working. Fair enough. And then we're just gonna do a delay for like 10 seconds so I can read this. And we're gonna deploy it. When you're used to coding in PowerShell, which is kind of instant feedback because you write the command and you press enter and it executes, and you do this and you have to like do something, compile it, deploy it, wait. It's so tedious. We get this. So the first one is called AST flash B blue LED. Oh, it's just not the line before. It's probably writing something else. Right, so it's writing up blue LED, that's the name. And it gives us the default configuration, I think. Cool. And then it does the red LED same, and then it does the status LED. Okay. So that seems to be working. We should be able to get back in here. We have our new constructors, this nesting type thingy technique. I thought it was so smart to invent this, but apparently not. Start. We should be able to give it a name now. Starting task serial.print name. That should be a print line. And just to make sure I don't get anything weird, I'm just gonna do a serial.print line. I think you can do an empty one. Just to make sure we have it like a new line to start with. We probably don't need this delay at all. And then we're going to set some config. We're going to print it again. Let's print the name also, just to make clear what we're doing. Here we go. Oops. And then we do the whole program. Yep, let's try. Yeah, so Mr. Epic says, that's what killed most of my motivation to develop apps for my watch. It's slow and the debugging was horrible. I can relate. But it's extremely satisfying every time you can get the LED to blink. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ta-da! Awesome. All right, next problem is I want to be able to turn it off, but I want to... So I could just say, well, the count is -1. So whenever you're done, just turn the LED off and we're fine. I don't want it to do that. I want to be able to just say like, remove the whole task or kill it. But I always want it to complete its current cycle. Although the time is a bit late. So I think we'll have to do that next time. But my plan for next week is to use a mutex. So I want to have this thingy where my task can say, I'm starting a loop, so I'm blocking the code, and then it runs like a whole sequence, and then it's gonna let go of the lock, and then it's gonna wait for a delay, and then it's gonna take the lock again, and then it's gonna do a sequence. That way, when I want to remove the task, my remove function can say grab the lock, and if the lock is busy, the loop will continue until it's done, and the lock will be released. So then my remove task remove method can grab the lock and say, don't do anything, I'm gonna kill you, or like remove you, stop you. And that way, whenever a task runs that modifies the state, the loop should like, hang on, I'm getting new instructions, I have to wait for them. I think that's a good idea. I don't know, I'm guessing here, but that's what I'm gonna try to achieve next week. So if you think this was at all interesting, please give me like a like or subscribe or a comment or anything. This was my first try at streaming at YouTube, and I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm gonna watch the VOD and, well, see how it looks and how it sounds, and yeah, maybe we'll do YouTube in the future, maybe we'll do Twitch, maybe we'll do both. I don't know. But thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope I'll see you next week at the same time-ish. Bye-bye. Oh, next problem. How do I stop it? Oh, fantastic. That didn't work. I think we can go here, maybe, and do this. That didn't